Hello and welcome to a new Football Manager 2015 experiment with me, Paul, otherwise known as Golden FM. And today I'm going to be doing one involving Alexis Sanchez, the Arsenal player who has been phenomenal for them this season, carrying them through many games, scoring lots and lots of goals and assists as well. It's been fantastic, and some would argue without him, Arsenal would really be struggling. So this experiment is in two parts in a way. I'm only going to be holidaying one season, but in two separate saves. In the first save, Alexis Sanchez is at Arsenal. We're just going to holiday an average season in the life of Football Manager 2015 and see what comes out, how Arsenal do with Alexis Sanchez in their team, how they do in the cup competition, Champions League, etc. The second save, on the editor, I put him back at Barcelona, and we're going to holiday one more season again, just the first season, and see how Arsenal do without Alexis Sanchez. Also have a look at seeing how Barcelona do with him as well, and just analyse his stats and compare them to see if he really does have an impact on the Arsenal team on Football Manager 2015. Anyway, I think usually he doesn't perform as highly as he does or has in real life, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. As usual, please leave a like on this video, that would be much appreciated. If it gets 100 likes, then I'll try and get out another FM experiment as soon as possible. Also subscribe if you haven't done so already, and leave your thoughts on future experiments and this experiment, like maybe real life analysis compared against this. Leave your comments in the comment section below and I will read them and reply to them. So, yep, let's holiday through the first season with Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal. So here we go, it's the end of the first season, and Arsenal have finished down in 5th place, and that's with Alexis Sanchez in their team. Now, I did holiday this 3 times, the same season, just to see the outcome, and it was very similar. I think they finished 4th once and finished 5th twice. So, on average, they finished 5th. 7 points behind Liverpool, who finished 4th. Man United won the league on this save. On the other one that I just did, Man City won it, and Chelsea did as well. So 3 different winners out of those 3 seasons. But this is the best one to look at, I think, for Alexis Sanchez personally. So we'll have a look at him. And here he is. So in one of the saves that I simulated, he actually got injured for 3 months, which did affect him. So I've decided to keep the one where he's fully fit for the majority of the season, I think, and have a look at his stats, see how he did. So in the league, he got 8 goals in 30 games and 5 assists, 7.19 average rating. Overall, 7.19 average rating, 13 goals in all competitions, 6 assists, 1 man of the match. So really, he hasn't had a huge impact compared to real life. I mean, in real life, he's pretty much been Arsenal's man of the match nearly every game. He's been amazing. So it's quite strange to see him underperforming. Although this is actually the most goals he scored out of the 3 saves that I did simulate. So, he's done okay, but not anything spectacular. Let's look at him compared to the rest of the Arsenal team. So goals-wise, top scorer was Welbeck, then it was Giroud, then Sanchez in 3rd place. And average rating-wise, he was down here below Cazorla, Ramsey, Mertesacker, Ozil and Chambers. Just have a look at their signings. So these players may also have had an impact on Arsenal. So these are the players they let go. Sonoga went out on loan. Coquelin, the only player they sold. These are the players that came into the team. The biggest fee was Joe Allen coming into the team for whatever reason. I don't know why they decided to sign him. We'll have a quick look at how he did in the team. Where is he? There he is. 7.00 average rating and 1 goal. So not a huge amount of impact. In terms of other competitions, let's have a quick look at the set schedule to see how they did. They managed to get through their Champions League playoff just about in extra time by the looks of it. And then in the group, they got through their group, which included Roma, CSK Moscow, and who's the other team? Leverkusen. And they got knocked out in the first round, unfortunately, against Juventus. Barcelona went on to win the final against Juventus on penalties, so they lost against eventual finalists anyway. In the cup competitions, they got knocked out against Burnley in the 3rd round of the Capital One Cup, and the FA Cup, they got through to the quarterfinals, I believe, which they lost against Sunderland 3-2. So it hasn't been a great season for them. In fact, this is the first ever season for many, many years that they haven't qualified for the Champions League. So that's even with Alexis Sanchez in their team. So now I'm going to holiday and see how Arsenal do without him in their team. Will it have much of a bearing? This experiment may prove that it doesn't really matter if Alexis Sanchez is in the team or not. Or they may even do even worse. They possibly could do better because they may replace him with someone else, or the other players may step up to the mark to replace him. Of course, he was only third top scorer in this, so they're not replacing someone who really has had a huge impact. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So here's Alexis Sanchez at Barcelona at the end of the first season. Similar sort of personal stats. If we just have a look at his stats, he scored 11 goals in all competitions in La Liga, and 2 assists. 11 goals in all competitions and 6 goals in La Liga. 2 assists in all competitions, 7.12 average rating in La Liga and 7.11 average rating overall. So slightly worse actually than when he was at Arsenal. In the Barcelona team, let's see how he compares, and then we will have a look at Arsenal, because that's the key reason behind this experiment. He was in fact 5th top scorer. Lionel Messi 26 goals, average rating wise all the way down here behind lots and lots of players. So maybe the game has underrated him, because in maybe the last couple of seasons he hasn't been phenomenal for Barcelona, but I liked him when I watched him play. I think he was a very good player and underrated by many. And moving to Arsenal, he's really just come out of his shell and been the main star. So perhaps the game has underrated him slightly. He did actually help them to win the league with Barcelona, but he probably didn't have a massive impact on that. It could have been anyone. Let's go to Arsenal then. Oh, this isn't Arsenal. Here we go. So they finished 2nd. So they've done better without him, but maybe that's just FM15. Perhaps we found flaws in FM15 with this. I mean, in 3 seasons of him, I did 3 separate seasons. The old classic 3 times is when you do chemistry experiments at school, you do it 3 times to have reliability and accuracy, etc. And in all 3 they finished 4th once and 5th twice. So I mean, if I kept doing that, in all likelihood it would be 4th and 5th with Alexis Sanchez. Without him, they finished 2nd on 80 points, 2 points behind Man United. Everton finished 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Man City all the way down in 6th. Don't know what happened there. Very strange. So I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's just shown that this experiment because of FM15 and the way it's been made, it sort of failed. But they have made some good signings, to be fair. But they made some decent signings in the last. Well, Joe Allen, perhaps not, but they've made some good signings. So maybe that has had an impact. We'll go to the team and see what happened. Goals-wise, top scorers Welbeck again and Giroud 2nd. So that's the same as previously. But Ramsey, I think, scored more goals. Cazorla and Oxlade-Chamberlain. So to be fair, it's the same players, but without Alexis Sanchez. But somehow they perform better as a team. I think Welbeck actually got 1 less goal. Average rating, Ramsey was top. Koscielny, Ozil. See how they did in the other competitions. So they did well in the Champions League playoff. They got through. Capital One Cup, they lost in the 3rd round 4-0 against Man United. Poor defeat there. And then in their group, which consisted of Roma, Galatasaray and PSG, they actually managed to get through. They lost in the FA Cup 4th round replay against Man United again, who also won the league, incidentally. But then they went out of the Champions League against Schalke. But we have a look here. They won the FA Cup final against Stoke 3-0. Could that come true? Possibly, in real life. But that's interesting. Ayew, Insigne and Giroud with the goals. So 2 different players. So perhaps it was mainly because they had different players come into the team to replace Alexis Sanchez. But I don't know what you make of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Without Alexis Sanchez, Arsenal have done better, which isn't what I was trying to show. I think most of you are thinking Alexis Sanchez will allow Arsenal to perform much better. But for whatever reason, that hasn't been the case. So there you go. Anyway, leave your other ideas in the comment section below. Please leave a like on the video, that'd be much appreciated and helps me out a lot and gets more people interested in the series. Share it as well if you happen to be an admin on some sort of football page, that would be much appreciated. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.